Hi and welcome back to the channel.
Yes, hello everyone, welcome back. A video with a difference, a little bit different this time around.
Certainly is.
Because you can tell we're not in the caravan because we're in our kitchen. So that means we're not away either. And we haven't been away for a good few weeks, have we?
Yeah, we've had a few things going on, haven't we?
Plenty going on. And can we start off really by saying a massive thank you to everyone who sent us their best wishes. Because some of you may not know, but most of you probably will. We both had our fair share of things going on health-wise. I was in hospital for a small procedure called a cardioversion. You might remember that when Helen was in hospital back in November, I went down to the doctors with a cold, ended up in A&E. Heart was beating at 157, irregular, all over the place. Lots of you commented at that point to say, don't worry about it. It's my husband went through it, or I've been through it, and they'll do a cardioversion, which they did. And if you don't know what a cardioversion is, it's a bit like jump starting the car. Flat battery, put the jump leads on, get the thing going again. Well, I didn't know anything about it. They put me out completely with
I think it's quite common when you start asking around. Everybody knows someone who's had it.
Yeah. And I wasn't at all worried about the procedure, because even Helen said, are you not concerned? You were remarkably calm when I went down to the old hospital, weren't I? But I had watched a YouTube video or two about it, which is not like me. Anyone who knows me knows that I don't like hospitals, doctors, needles, injections. It's not like nothing like that. But no, I watched a couple of YouTube vids and I thought that's all right. And literally knew nothing about it, and it worked first shock. They will shock you 3 times. They shocked me one time, it went straight back into rhythm, and it stayed there since. And how long ago was that now? That's sometime in May, wasn't it? About mid-May. So here we are now.
So it all seems good?
3 weeks on or whatever, and so far so good. And I have lost a bit of weight, Helen. People have mentioned that as well.
Yeah.
As have you. So again, for anyone who's noticed that I've lost some weight, because some of you commented, looking a bit trimmer. Yes, I am. I've lost 3 stone since Christmas. I won't tell you what I weigh because I'm still embarrassingly high, but I lost I've lost 3 stone since Christmas. So thanks for noticing. And what am I doing? That's what they were asking. What are we doing to lose weight? Do I explain what we've been doing?
General things. Don't eat rubbish.
Priority number 1.
Don't eat fatty foods.
Yeah, we've cut out the crap. I mean, literally, the sweets. I used to think nothing to get a family bar of chocolate out and demolish that in sort of 15 minutes, on a regular basis. Takeaway food 2 or 3 times a week, Chinese.
More for convenience than anything.
Yeah.
Not particularly nice, are they, takeaways?
Well, you always say when you've had a takeaway, you always say afterwards,
I wish I hadn't had that.
Of course, when you go away in the caravan as well, there is a tendency, I'm not saying you all do this, but there is a tendency to go and eat out, or to have fish and chips, or to have a McDonald's or something. I think
tea and cake as well.
Well, yeah, everyone knows you love your fudge, don't they?
Oh, yeah, I haven't had any of that
queen
now for several months.
Yeah. So we've cut out, practically 100% cut out red meat, haven't we? Definitely 95% we do not have red meat.
Fish and chicken only, yeah.
Mainly fish and chicken, loving some soups, lovely soups. In fact, can I just go and show you a soup to try? Hang on.
We actually got this by mistake. We decided to go to Tesco, and I picked up the soup, and I didn't realise it was going to be vegetable and chicken. I thought it was just chicken.
Yeah.
Anyway, when we got it, David got a different one, and he was jealous because he liked mine best.
Yeah, I think I had tomato and basil or something, and then Helen had this. And anyway, here it is. You might have tried this yourself, okay? So it's a Yorkshire, and for those of you from Yorkshire, and I know there's a few of you from Leeds and other areas of Yorkshire, the Yorkshire Provender, a hearty roast chicken and traditional veg. You can get that in Sainsbury's, Tesco, and other leading supermarkets, but
absolutely lovely soup.
It is the best soup. It really is fantastic. So we've been having lots of soup.
And we didn't get gifted it, we bought it.
Yeah, we're not being sponsored, I can assure you. Let me rush back. Little or no red meat, no rubbish, no takeaways. And in my case, a bit more than you really, I've sort of upped the ante a bit on the exercise, so I'm doing a lot more walking. And since I did that bike review a week or so ago, I've been out on the bike sort of about 3 or 4 times since then. I'm really enjoying it.
So getting to my weight, I actually put quite a bit of weight on because I was on a high dose of steroids for a while with my shoulder and things. And I actually put on quite a bit of weight. I'd never been so big. But I've managed to get off 2 stone 4. And that's been pretty good, really, over about 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
As I'm not really able to been exercising or anything as much, have I?
No, you've not. I mean, most people know you've had a shoulder replacement, don't they?
Yeah.
And so the steroids were for that. You've got another shoulder replacement coming up.
And I just got some fairly good news yesterday that they're looking at maybe July, August. So perhaps we can get the next one done, and then I'll be able to use both.
Yeah. Okay. So that's good. But what it does mean is that we're not getting out quite as much. Not so much because we can't get out. Although you have had your challenges and you're getting in and out of the caravan with your shoulder, but it's not so much we can't get out. The appointments at the hospital are just coming thick and fast.
Yeah, there's a few different things going on, isn't there? But it won't be long till we're out because I'm starting to get itchy feet. You know, I get itchy feet more than you.
Yeah.
And I think we'll just keep it local, and if anything does come in, we can always, still.
We can probably make it to the hospital from wherever we are.
Appointments.
We have had to move. We were supposed to be away in a couple of weeks' time, but we've had to move that back till later in the year. But we've got a couple of things we've got our eye on, haven't we? So we hope to be out and about again before too long. But in the meantime, we've got to be creative with our content. So that's why you've probably worked out this is a bit of a catch-up video. So that's what's been going on in our lives. And hospital appointments, I don't think are going to go away anytime soon, but we'll work around them. So that's that. What else have we got going on?
We have a nice little giveaway for you as well.
Do we? Yes, we have an amazing giveaway in this video, another brilliant free prize draw. This time to win a free stay at Poppyland, one of our favourite sites in Norfolk. And Billy and Pam, well, they've done it again. They're offering a free night stay for 2 adults and up to 2 dogs at their wonderful adult-only site, which is situated at Thorpe Market, very close to Cromer, not far from Sheringham. And if you fancy a day on the beach, it's a perfect location. Norwich is just up the road as well, or you can explore the wonderful Norfolk Broads. And as you can see here, you couldn't be in a better position. The site itself, as I say, is adult only, and it's very peaceful and really tranquil. Lots of lovely walks in the nearby area as well, and just down the road are 2 great pubs. There's the Gunton Arms and also the Suffield Arms, which serves amazing Spanish tapas and really worth a visit. It's about a 10 or 15 minute walk just down there. Also conveniently located just across the road is the Gunton railway station, so if you want to explore further, you can jump on a train. Bus stops are conveniently located just outside the caravan site gates. So, how do you win? Stay tuned and we'll tell you more. So you can win that, and then we'll do the draw in our next video, won't we, to find out who's won. So, we did I put a little post on the other day to say if you've got any questions for us, because it's we do like to answer questions as much as we can. So we've had a fair few questions come through. We're going to attempt to answer some of those. And in fact, should we kick off with a few of them now? Because there's a fair few on here. Yeah. You got your reading glasses on, because I'll allow you to read a couple if you want.
I'll
allow you to have a go. These are people that want shout outs, so we'll do some shout outs as well. But here's a first question here.
All right, so this one's from Peter Davis, and he says, "Hi Dave and Helen, and not forgetting Bella.
Who's down at my feet?
My question is, if money was no object, what caravan would you buy?"
I reckon we'd probably have differing views on this, you and I, actually. Well, obviously we're not going to buy one, because we do like the one we've got. But if money was no object, I probably would upgrade it and change it. Would you? I
would change it, and I'd probably change it to a Coachman.
Would you?
Yeah, but our car, I don't think would pull that. So money would have to be no object, because we'd have to get a bigger car as well.
Well, would you go for a twin axle then?
I don't think so, no.
Why?
No, I don't think so.
Why?
I just don't think I would.
I think I would. A single axle at the moment suits us because it suits the car and the weight and everything else. But there are a lot of advantages to having a twin axle, as in stability. They're quite a bit more stable on the road.
Yeah, they say that, but there's another couple of things, and one is you need 2 motor movers, don't you? So if it
Yeah,
doesn't
but money's
come-
no object here.
Oh,
We've
of
just won
course,
we've just won the lottery.
So you could get 2 lots of motor movers. And also, I've seen a couple of sites that that don't allow them. Not a lot, but I have seen a couple because of the length.
Yeah, they just don't have big enough pitches. Some of the smaller ones in particular don't have pitches that are big enough. But I mean, I do think that's few and far between.
Yeah.
So I mean, I probably would have a twin axle. One, as I say, stability. 2, if you get a puncture, you've still got 3 wheels on the road. If you get a puncture in a single axle caravan, you know that can be potentially quite challenging.
Yeah, so that's a positive.
Yeah, and you've got the extra space inside, and you can get more weight in them.
Yeah.
You know, now some of us say, yeah, but more weight means you're going to need a bigger car, but we're talking money's no object. You don't know which coachman you'd have then, do you?
I'm not sure about which coachman, but the thing is, I do like Swift because Stirling is part of Swift, isn't it? And
All right.
so I do like Swift, so I would have a look at a Swift as well. So I'm not sure between the two.
I think we've been pretty impressed with the quality of the coachmans, haven't we?
Yeah.
What we've seen. Although we've had feedback from people that have coachmans to say they've had some challenges. But, you know, I think everyone, no matter what make of caravan you've got, you'll find a problem. You know,
Swings
someone
and
will.
roundabouts.
It's a bit like everyone can go and buy the same brand of Mercedes car, but someone will have a problem with theirs, but most people probably won't. You know, so something to bear in mind. I wouldn't have a coachman. You might be a bit blown away by what I'm going to say I'd have. What do you think I'd have?
I don't know.
I've got 2 actually in mind, and I know I can probably only have 1. I wouldn't mind. Have you seen these Australian caravans? Well, they go in the outback and off-road and stuff. Chunky tyres. They've got often they'll have a pull-out sides on them. Big catering outside where you can set up an outside kitchen. You know, you can tow them up a mountain.
I think you've been watching too much YouTube.
So, you know, I wouldn't mind one of them. Or an Airstream. I wouldn't mind an Airstream. Something like that. Something a little bit different to the norm is what I would like. And
If money was no object.
Yeah, there you go. But it's a great question, and I wonder what everyone else thinks. If you could have any caravan, money no object, what would you have? In fact, you might already have it. So let us know in the comments below. Thanks, Peter. That was a good question.
They might already have it.
Yeah. Right, here's one for you then, Helen. I'll let you answer this on your own. This is from Sue Wayne, who says, "Hi, Helen and Dave. Would you ever consider moving from Norfolk? And if so, where? And keep up the great videos."
We've no plans to leave Norfolk. I don't think I ever would want to. We love the county, don't we?
You do?
I mean, I don't come from the county or
Neither do I.
even the country. I was born in Scotland, in Edinburgh.
Which we all know is abroad.
And my mum was Scottish, my dad was English, and he came from Wales next to sea, just up the coast. And we absolutely love Norfolk, and no, I can't see us living anywhere else.
I've certainly got no desire. You know, some people say, "Oh, I would love to live such and such," or "Oh, I'd really like to live there." We've never really had that desire,
I
have
haven't
we?
really seen anywhere I'd say I'd like to swap Norfolk for. I haven't really.
And we travel a lot, as you know, and I know we travel a lot in Norfolk, but we've taken the caravan further afield, up to Scotland, you know, around Yorkshire. We've been to Wales in a caravan before. We've been down south, around sort of Dorset Way and stuff like that, and the Isle of Wight. And no matter where we go, when we get home, we always say the same thing, don't we? How good it is to be home. It's fairly quiet in Norfolk compared with a lot of I mean, I'm well travelled with my old job. I used to travel the length and breadth of the country. I've been practically everywhere in the UK, and there's nowhere quite like Norfolk.
No.
So I think the answer is no, Sue. Yeah?
No.
Nah. So...
Any more for any more?
Yeah, we've got loads more. So we've now got Plain Crazy. Hi, Helen and Dave. Love your vids. We would like to know how, where and when did you both meet, and keep up the good work with the videos from Christine and Steve. How, when and where did you both meet?
What year was it?
1979. The year I left school.
Was it July or June?
June.
So I came on holiday and we had a week at my dad's mum's, my granny's at Wales, and we had a week on the Florida Club in Hemsby in a chalet. And I actually met David. He was doing the kids' discos then. I think you were about 16.
I was 16.
16.
Yeah.
And yes, that's where we met, funnily enough.
The Florida Club in Hemsby. Can I tell them how we met as well? Because I think it says does it not say how? Had you not just won the Miss Florida competition, my dear?
I had, yeah.
There was 3 people in it.
Oh,
Two stooges who worked behind the bar, and Helen, who was on holiday.
he tells everyone this story. Everyone. Now, me and my brother had come on holiday, my mum and dad, and I put him in for the yodeling contest, and he won. I think
he
won.
was the only one that entered that. That's all.
And he put me in for this, unbeknown to me, and just for a laugh, really, for something to do. But I feel that's when holiday camps were holiday camps, you know, and the entertainment was great.
Yeah, well, you say that, but yeah, it was different. It was a bit more entertaining.
It's a smaller camp as well.
Yeah, that was obviously back in the 70s. I'd left school in the May and met you in the June. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we were married 2 years later, I think, or a year and a half later or something.
He just handed his school report in.
I haven't finished my homework. Still got homework to do. It's terrible. Yeah, I was DJ there, wasn't I?
Yeah.
They were the days. That's where, when and how. In fact, that same night we met, I took you back to, which is now Haven. I can see it through the window. Was Ladbroke Holidays Caister Camp. My father was a general manager, and there was a big ballroom there called Neptune's Palace. And I took you to see Marty Wilde and the Wildcats that very night, because it was
Kim Wilde's dad, wasn't it?
Yeah, midnight cabaret.
It was good.
Anyone under 50 will have no idea who I'm talking about. So thank you very much. Why do you want to do that one from Matt Darby?
Matt Darby, let's have a look.
This one here.
Hi Helen and Dave, will you be going into mainland Europe this year? Great videos, very interesting. Matt, Europe's a bit of a tough one for us because of the dog. We can't actually go abroad with her, and I wouldn't really leave her because she's so
joined your hip.
Yes, with me. We rescued her, and we thought, like everybody does, we'll get the injections done. And we got the first one done, and my goodness, she was so ill. Yeah, she nearly died.
It almost killed her, yeah. It's incredible.
And she can't have them. So, of course, you can't have them, you can't have a passport, so you can't go abroad.
No. I mean, we could always leave it here, but we don't want to, do we?
No, I don't want to.
I would go in a minute to Europe with the caravan. I wouldn't think.
Can.
Well, let me go then. Yeah. I wouldn't think twice. I would go in a minute.
There is another thing to take into consideration. We're going to Europe. We haven't got an AC unit, air conditioning unit in the caravan.
Yeah.
And I think you'll need one when it gets hotter, because they do get like ovens, don't they?
We used to holiday in southern Spain every year, sometimes a couple of times a year. We'd go to southern Spain, and we know how hot it can get, even sort of in their closed season. So I don't think I'd want to take a caravan there without air conditioning. No. So yeah, you'd have to put that in. But I would go. I would definitely go abroad without question in the caravan. That wouldn't bother me in the least. Which was one of the reasons we went to the Isle of Wight last year. What? Yeah. A little going on a ferry and just pretend we were going abroad.
That worked fine, didn't it? That worked really well.
It was good. It's a shame, really. I mean, whether Bella could have it done again or not, I don't know. But it is a bit of a shame. No, the vet
said no. He advises against it, so
yeah,
I won't want to go there again. Ooh.
So we'll go over to this one, which is from Hepcat Harley, the Lord and Lady. Lord and Lady, they're famous, the Lord and Lady. They watched Butlers, they're always on Butler's Empire.
All right.
So what is your most embarrassing caravanning faux pas from attending site or leaving a site? Ours was definitely on our first caravanning adventure. When about to hitch up, I stepped into our legs up Bailey D4 and it tipped up like the Titanic. You've done that, haven't you? On a caravan?
Well, we both done
green
that.
Trees.
We're at Green Trees. We went in this Eldest, and as we started walking towards the back, it just went off. And I said to him, quickly get out.
Yeah, which is not easy when you're running towards the washroom at the back of the caravan, was it?
So I mean, I don't know why they didn't have the legs down, but yes, that would have been embarrassing, I think. Yeah.
We've had a few though. We've had a few.
I've got one which is probably as good as that, really.
I know what it's going to be as well.
Yeah, we had been to the Malvern Hills.
Yeah.
Was that a
Caravan Motorhome Club? We went to the show, didn't we?
Yeah, we had been to the show that day, and the weather was bleak, and we decided to go home a day early. So whether we packed up a bit quick or not, I don't know. But as we got in the caravan and everything was done, we now have a checklist, by the way, and it goes in that one every day. And we got to reception, thank goodness we had to stop to take the key back. And somebody behind us was shouting, excuse me, yeah? Caravan door's open. Eh? The caravan door's open. Oh my goodness, Dave.
The next stop was is it the M4 or the M5? I can't remember, not too far from
all
there.
the stuff would have been falling out all the way home.
So you can imagine, I got it in the neck. I haven't got to do a lot wrong to get it in the neck, but that was pretty severe, I must admit. So
people come to him and ask him questions, and he's leaving the caravan door.
This is what she said. She said, look at you. She said, our name's on the back of the caravan. People come up to you. She said, you've got the cheek to do caravanning videos on how to, and you don't know how to close the caravan door. Yeah,
we've never done it again since.
No, we've never done it again since, no. But I'm easily distracted, and Helen is one for distracting me. So, for example, if I was to start one job, no matter what it was, caravanning or in the house otherwise,
don't blame me.
No, if I start a job, before I'm part way through it, Helen will say, Dave, can you just? So I have to stop what I'm doing and go and do something else. And then, as I'm part way through the second job, oh, Dave, can you just do da-da-da-da-da? And then I'm on to 3 jobs, and before I know it, I'm doing 4 or 5 things.
So now we know, as he gets in the caravan, I'll say to him 3 things. One...
In the car, when I get in the car.
In the car, so once Dave joins me in the car and we're ready to leave, I'll say to him 3 things. Is the motor mover off? Yes. Is the handbrake off? Yes. Is the door shut? Yes. Yeah. And that's the 3 things that sometimes he forgets.
Yeah, we could probably make the whole video about embarrassing moments. In fact, we have got a video about our top 10 cock-ups, so you can do that. Right, so we better move on because we're going to have an argument in a minute and you won't want to see that. Right, what we got next then? Okay, so this is from... Do you want to read this one from Marcus Norton?
Hello you two. My question, 2 questions. How long have you been caravanning, and what is the favourite caravan layout you have owned?
Well, we've only owned 2 caravans, haven't we?
2, yeah.
So, and the layout was pretty similar, but we'll come back to that. How long have we been caravanning? I think it was 2016.
7 years?
No, it's more than that. Nearly 9 years now.
Oh.
Yeah, 2016. And the driver was my sister. Although you've always wanted a caravan, and I never wanted a caravan ever in my life.
You wanted a motorhome, didn't you?
But we went
one at a time.
We went to see her at a Norwich site, the Camping and Caravan Club site in Norwich, and it was a lovely sunny day. It was a Sunday, never forget it. 2016. Our son lives in Norwich. We were going to call and meet him for lunch, and we agreed that we'd call and see my sister and have a drink with her and a barbecue and all that stuff. It was a lovely day when we sat out having a drink, and rabbits running around, the birds are singing, the trains in the distance, a little river meandering through.
Break your ankle in the hole. The rabbit's hole.
I never broke my ankle in a rabbit hole.
No, I'm joking.
Anyway, this is what see what I mean about interrupting. Then then you're off on a tangent. That's why the caravan door stays open.
No.
Anyway, when it was time to go, I just didn't want to leave, did I? I said I've never felt so relaxed. Obviously, I was working full time. I said, this is really, I don't want to go. I could stay here all day. It's brilliant. Really, really relaxing. And I thought about it a lot that night, and I said to Helen the next day, I was working from home, I said, do you fancy a run out to go and look at some motorhomes? She said, no, but I'll go and look at some caravans if you want. And so that was the start of it, wasn't it? And we decided if we did buy a caravan, because we're very impulsive, if we were going to buy one, we're going to buy it that day. That's how we are. I always say to people, sleep on it, but we weren't very good at doing that ourselves.
And we went out to look for a little cheapie.
Well, we had a little budget, and we say $4,000, and see if we like it first, and then we'll trade up.
And it cost us 11.
Well, it cost us 12 with all the bits.
Well,
we bought an awning for £1,000. So by the time we got the other
nothing ever goes to plan.
So we ended up, I think it was about $12,500 we spent that next day. Yeah, so... that first caravan was a Bailey. Now, the question was, what's our favourite layout? Well, we've only ever had the similar layout with the traditional bench seating, which we've got now either side. But I must admit, I really like our current caravan because it serves all our needs, doesn't it? It does everything we need it to do.
Well, the Bailey had a fixed bed, French bed,
yeah.
To call it. And we didn't like the fact that the one next to the window had to scramble across the other one to get to the toilet in the night.
Yeah, that's true. So the bed was the challenge. I like the fact it was 8 feet. I like the fact it was Bailey. It had a really nice, luxurious finish. It was a little bit old. It was a 2011, I think.
I think it was 11, yeah.
2011. It was 2016 when we bought it. But it was really good. It had everything.
It was a great starter van.
Great starter van, absolutely brilliant. And we sold it like that. So, but if I could have any layout in a caravan, I'd have the L-shaped configuration. I mention it every time we go and look at caravans. I love the L-shaped fronts, and I know a few other people, YouTubers and some of our subscribers that have got that, and I envy them. I think it looks really nice. You're not so bothered, are you?
Not so keen about that, no.
But I like it. I just think it gives it
more
a
modern,
different look and feel, and it feels more spacious, I think. Do you want to read that one from Carol Grove? I think it's not a question. I think it's just a bit of a shout out, really.
Yeah.
What's she saying?
She said, "Hi, we got a van last year and we got a lot of help from you guys. Thanks very much."
Oh, thanks, Carol. Well, you're welcome.
So Leanne Arnold says, "How's the vlog on the top 10 Norfolk campsites coming along?
Right.
Also, have you been to Cornwall in your caravan?"
So Leanne asked me, or suggested to me, I think probably at the beginning of the year, maybe even longer, Leanne, why don't you put together your top 10 favourite Norfolk caravan
Well, it should
sites?
be easy to do because there are so many.
Well, you say it'd be easy, but it would be a long video. But
Right.
I do think it'd be a good thing to do, and possibly do it over 2 or 3 videos and make it like part 1, part 2, part 3. Because if you want to show them in detail, if we just show one with a bit of detail, I did 3 on the bike the other day. That was a 40-minute video. Can you imagine if I was doing 10? So you'd probably have to do it over 2 or 3 videos. But I do think it'd be a good thing to do. And strangely enough, that you asked us about that, I will do it. I mentioned Dan Trudge, and Dan gave me a call at Christmas time, and he said, along the lines, doing something similar. Why don't you do a video with those lovely Norfolk sites that you go to? Because we want to come your way soon. But also, when you show some of these places, why don't you show, if you do go to site X, here's a good pub, or here's a good restaurant you can visit, or here's a nice seafront area. Do you know what I mean? So I think there's mileage in what Leanne is asking for, and it fits in a little bit with what Dan was mentioning. So I will get round to it, I promise, but I'm just not too sure when, because it'll take me a little while, and we've got a lot going on. But it's definitely not forgotten about, Leanne, I promise.
So part 2 to your question is, we were always going to go down to Cornwall. Our daughter-in-law comes from there. They live in Norwich now. And we've been down to Cornwall quite a lot, but not in the caravan. But it could be on the future plans.
We've talked about it every year. We're going to go to Cornwall this year, and we've never made it.
They do say some of the roads are quite tight for the caravans. So what we were planning on doing was to get a site and do some touring from that site, maybe.
Yeah, that's what we thought. I mean, when we used to visit a lot, our son was one of the managers at Newquay Airport, so we used to go and see him quite a bit. So we're very familiar with Cornwall, and my brother used to live there as well. If you get off the main drag, which I think is the A38, all of the roads in Cornwall, sat-navs don't like them, and they can get a bit narrow. So yeah, very much that. I think we'd find a base, wouldn't we, and then go touring from there.
That's what we did before when we had a cottage, I think it was.
We really like Cornwall, and I know a lot of you have visited, and some of you probably live there. Our son always used to say to us, Cornwall's fantastic in the summer, but in the winter it just rains every day. So that's the West Coast for you. It's a bit like that. Right, so
Brian Mitchell says, we are visiting your neck of the woods next week. 8 nights at the old Brickkils.
Oh, yeah.
Looking forward to this one. You will like it there. It's a good site.
Lovely site, the old Brickkils. We've been there 3 or 4 times now. They've had a little change around post-COVID, because they used to have a restaurant where you could book a table and go in. They do food still in their bar, but you're sort of more of a takeaway type approach.
Pizzas, burgers, that sort of thing.
But they're really nice. Really, really nice. So I think you'll enjoy it. Of course, if you go there, then you're not far from Fakenham and really close to Wells next to Sea, which is a must visit.
Oh, yeah.
Stuart Richardson has just dropped us a note to say he's currently on pitch 12 at the Willow.
That's our favourite pitch.
That's a great site. The regulars will know we go to the Willows at Mildenhall a lot, because we like aviation, aeroplanes and stuff. There's a family connection with my father was a pilot. Your mum and dad were both in the RAF, weren't they? So we love aircraft, and if you like getting up close and personal, go to the Willows. If you want a quiet time, avoid it like the plague, because it gets noisy. But
you'll be shook out of bed.
Stuart, let me know, have you had a good time at the Willows? I do think you either love it or you hate it. We love it. Right, Neil DJ Billy Willett. Hi Neil, I didn't know you were a DJ. Look forward to seeing you both as we will be on our first outing in our Coachman pastiche. Oh, another Coachman man. You and other YouTubers have inspired us to get a caravan to make memories for our stays in the UK. Our first outing is at the nurseries in Lincolnshire. Oh, look out for Dan the Man.
Trolls. Oh.
Yeah, starting this Saturday. So you'll be there now then, because it's Sunday. Cheers and keep up your fantastic YouTube videos. Oh, brilliant. So it wasn't actually a question, it was just another shout out and a bit of appreciation. Thanks, Neil. Glad you like the vids. Who have we got up next? Do you want to do that one?
Oh, it's about the towing car, I think. It's from Karen Hyde Costa. Hi guys, how do you rate your car for towing? I'm looking to upgrade. Currently I have a 2 litre Cougar. Thanks, from Keith and Karen.
Good question. Am I answering this, or do you want to answer it?
If you want to answer it, I think it's a great car.
You live it, don't you?
I think it's a great car, yeah.
We say a lot to people, and genuinely say it's the best car we've ever had. It's a Kia Sportage. It's a 2 litre GT line all-wheel drive. By now we would have changed that car probably 4 years ago, I should think. We bought that in 2016 as well. So that's sort of 9-10 years old. 9 years old, I think it is. And what cars have we had? Just reel a few cars off that we've had in our
we've
time.
had a Volvo. What was it? C60, was it?
A Volvo C60.
We've had
3 Mercedes cars.
Freelanders. We've had Discovery.
We had 3 Freelanders, a Discovery. We've had
a Mercedes.
3 Mercedes
Yeah.
C-Class. We've had Vauxhall Vectras and stuff like that years ago. BMWs.
A Mini Metro.
No, we've had a Mini Metro a long time ago. We've had. I had a Mini fairly recently for our patching work. I got a Mini, didn't I?
Yeah.
So we've had loads of cars. In terms of tow cars, we've only ever had 2 tow cars, and
that was the Volvo.
That was the Volvo XC60
and this one.
And this one. Now, when we say this is the best car we've ever had, I'm including all the other cars, which are mainly company cars that I used to have from work. This is better than any other car I've ever had. And I, again, a bit like having a caravan, I didn't want this car, did I? I was looking for another Land Rover. I wanted either a Range Rover or another big Discovery, because I absolutely loved the Discovery we had at the time. It was a D3 HSE, top of the range, 7 seats, everything on it. Loved that car. Took it to Cornwall. Didn't we, that car? And that's what I was looking for. And Helen said to us, we were looking around this showroom, what do you think to this one? And it was the Kia. And I looked over, I thought, yeah, it looks alright. I said, what is it? And she said, a Kia. I said, behave yourself, I'm not buying a Kia, no chance. You know, literally words to that effect. And the guy, one of the salesman guys, overheard it, and he said, did I hear you just say no chance to the Kia? I said, yeah, you did, yeah. He said, do you mind me asking why? I said, yeah. I said, I don't want to buy a Korean car, cheapo car. And he sort of just shook his head at me when you want to go and have a little look at that car. He's got hundreds of cars he could have sold us. He said, you ought to go and have a little look at that car. So he said, yeah, take it for a drive if you want.
We'd already taken some Nissans at the garage next door for test drives, and they just didn't have any poke in them, did they? Maybe the engines were smaller.
Well, it might be what we were looking at. I mean, I think some of the Nissans are good, I do. But anyway, long story short, took it for a test drive. It got everything on board that I was looking for in the top of the range Land Rover, but it was half the price, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Leather seats, electric windows all around, heated seats all around, 2 litre engine. It was automatic, but it still is automatic. Automatic headlights that come on and dip and go on full beam. Windscreen washers sort themselves out. It does everything.
Loads of extras, yeah.
But the best thing of all is, in how long have we had that? 9 years. I can't believe I've never had a car that long. 9 years, and the only thing we've ever done to it in 9 years is change the battery in it. and it pulls the caravan like a dream. There are times where I have to check the caravan's still hitched up at the back because I don't know it's there. Taking it through Scotland, up the hills and the glens and around Glencoe, no problem at all with that car. If you were to buy the 1600 manual, I'm not sure that would work. Some of you might have one, depends what caravan you're towing. But you know, I think it's the fact it's 2 litre all-wheel drive GT line probably makes a bit of a difference. I couldn't tell you what the brake horsepower is in that. I don't watch Top Gear. I'm not into all that sort of stuff. I know it just does the job brilliantly.
Does, yeah.
And it's been MOT'd now, what, 5 times, 6 times?
It just keeps going and coming back. Mind you, we service it every year, don't we?
Yeah, and you don't have to service it every year. I think it's 18 months or so many thousand miles, 30,000 or something. But we do it every April, May, don't we? Without fail, get it serviced.
Yeah.
So there you go. Love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Right.
They don't make that car anymore though, because Helen keeps saying you should get a new Kia Sportage, and that's always not the same car. I'm not convinced it would be the right car now. So if we were to change it, what would we get now?
I don't know.
Back to the Land Rover again.
No.
Lots of reliability issues, I'm told.
So Michael Barton asks, do you have a household 3 kilowatt kettle or a low wattage type in Jennifer Eccles?
We can tell he watches the channel a lot because I haven't mentioned Jennifer Eccles for ages.
We can't find any decent looking low wattage style ones we like. Thanks.
No. Have we tried a low wattage kettle ever?
Well, I've tried a low wattage hairdryer and they're absolute rubbish.
That's not the same thing though, is it?
Yeah, but it's a normal kettle.
3.
But what we do is we turn off any other electrics to use it and then put the electrics back on, like the heating and whatnot.
Well, just the heating, to be honest with you. We just make sure that when we put the switch down, we turn the hot water stroke heating off above the door, you know, on the old Aldi
Otherwise
controller.
It might blow.
Well, it will definitely blow every time without fail. But whether you're on 10 amp or a 16 amp electric hookup, it works fine, providing we turn the heating and the hot water off. So, you know, I know people say I should get low watt and all that. I think we were in the same boat as you, to be honest. We found that the normal household kettle boils quicker, a bit more stylish, and it's just what we do. Right, let's get back to that free prize draw. What is it and how do you enter? Yes, we have an amazing giveaway in this video, another brilliant free prize draw, this time to win a free stay at Poppyland, one of our favourite sites in Norfolk, and Billy and Pam, well, they've done it again. They're offering a free night stay for 2 adults and up to 2 dogs at their wonderful adult-only site, which is situated at Thorpe Market, very close to Cromer, not far from Sheringham, and if you fancy a day on the beach, it's a perfect location. Norwich is just up the road as well, or you can explore the wonderful Norfolk Broads, and as you can see here, you couldn't be in a better position. The site itself, as I say, is adult only, and it's very peaceful and really tranquil. Lots of lovely walks in the nearby area as well, and just down the road are 2 great pubs. There's the Gunton Arms and also the Suffield Arms, which serves amazing Spanish tapas and really worth a visit. It's about a 10 or 15 minute walk just down there. Also conveniently located just across the road is the Gunton railway station, so if you want to explore further, you can jump on a train. Bus stops are conveniently located just outside the caravan site gates. So, how do you win? Stay tuned and we'll tell you more. Fantastic, very generous of Pam and Billy at Poppyland. So just to reiterate, we're giving away 2 prizes in this video, so 2 people will win, and we'll pull 2 names out of the hat in the draw that we'll do in our next video. Just to reiterate, it's at Poppylands and Thorpe Market in North Norfolk. It's a chance to have a night stay for free, and if you want to extend that, of course you can, subject to availability, but it's got to be taken in the 2025 season, and I believe the only other stipulation that they have is it can't include a bank holiday.
Yeah.
So have a little look. I'll put the full details in the description below, and all you've got to do is answer this simple question. So who are the owners of Poppylands? That's what we need to know.
First name terms.
First name terms, definitely. And don't forget, it's adult only at Poppyland.
Yeah.
But it is such a lovely site. We think whoever goes, you won't want to stay for a night. So if you win it, you'll probably want to book another couple of nights at least, because it is very, very nice.
Depending on where you're coming from, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
And there's local pubs in the area, which are really nice, aren't they?
Yeah.
Restaurants.
Yeah.
And nice walks.
Yeah. So we'll draw that in the next video. And also, you need to be staying tuned, because in possibly the next video, I've got to do a bit of a repair job on the caravan. It's only a small job.
What? Fix a door?
Put a door on. Yeah, and then so in the next one, I've got a repair job. So I've got problems with my waterworks. So I'm going to show you what I've got to do on that. And also, by the time we get to our next video, I reckon we'll have another prize to give away.
Yeah.
Because I've been in touch with the company, or rather they've been in touch with me. They want to send me a product, and I said, well, can you send me 2? Then we can give one away. And they've agreed to do that. So you need to stay tuned for that next video, whatever happens. So if you don't win the free stay at Poppylands, there's an opportunity in the next video to win something else.
Share alike, that's what we think.
That's what we like to do. We like to keep it interesting. Right, like we always say, if you have been, thank you for watching. Yeah, and don't forget to give us a thumbs up and hit the notification bell, and that way you'll know when all of our videos are coming out.
Yeah.
Right, see you soon.
See you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye for now.